Welcome to the Jim Bakker Show. I'm your co-host, Ricky Baker. Please welcome our very special guest, the founder and president of Seychelles Water Company and a dear friend to the ministry, Carl Palmer. Now here's our host for today and my sister, Tammy Sue Baker.
Hello and welcome to Grace Street. We're so glad that you could take time out of your busy schedule to be with us today. Today is Water Day. Woo! Water! Agua. See,
ready.
See. Yes, we're ready. Our very special guest is someone that we love so much, a dear friend of the ministry. I almost said PTL Club. Well, it is the PTL Club. PTL.
Club PTL.
Club PTL.
There you go.
See, we're doing Espanol today. But Carl Palmer is with us today, and we're so very excited. We also have a special. My goodness, I'm turning into Spanish. What's wrong with me? We have a special message from our dad, Jim Bakker, for you today. Can't wait to hear.
Papa.
Our papa, see? And we have a new, are you ready? Drum roll, please. Woo! A new ultimate Seychelles bundle that's available, brand new, here for the first time. So you're going to want to stay tuned so that you can see and maybe purchase our new bundle. And then my dear, sweet brother-in-law, John, he's over our news department, and he has a special message for us about what's happening in the world today. And so we just want you to sit back and relax and enjoy the Jim Bakker Show and enjoy my co-hosts, John, my brother-in-law, welcome.
Thank you.
My sweet brother, Enrique Iglesias. Remember when I did that day?
You did. You
Ricky,
called me that on the intro.
I called him on the
intro.
It was Ricky
you called
Martin.
me Ricky Martin on the intro.
And the reason I did that was because when he was little, we would tease and call him Ricky Martin, the singer. And I was so nervous that day, and I was doing the intro, and I said, Ricky Martin, I don't know.
She called me Ricky Martin.
Me.
This is great.
So I'm going to have to say it. You know I am. Please welcome our special co-host, Armando de la Vega.
There he is.
Mondo, I love
It's not
you,
even
honey.
Cinco de Mayo
I
yet.
know,
We're
and we're already
celebrating.
celebrating and speaking in Spanish.
Oh, boy. But you know what? I'm so excited for Carl. 84 years
84,
old.
I can't believe it.
Man.
And it proves that water keeps you young.
That's it, man. And he looks good. He thinks
he
good.
does.
He presents himself good.
Yeah.
You know what? This man is amazing. The studies. I had Nathan print out. I should have brought it with
You
me.
should.
The research behind Seychelles is about this
A
much.
stack.
And Nathan goes, "Are we going to do that today?" I said, "No, we're not. Not today." But can you imagine?
When Dad comes back, one of the 7-hour shows, they can do it. We love you, Mom and Dad, by the way.
Boy.
They're on sabbatical, so again, the kids have taken over the Jim Bakker Show.
Yeah,
So
I think the one that gets a call from Mom and Dad every day is Ricky.
yes, it is.
He's the youngest,
Poor
making
Ricky.
sure that the house is
we're
not burning down.
Yeah, it hasn't burned down yet.
Have you taken the trash out?
Every day, yep.
Clean the windows?
I don't know if I've done that. I don't
Okay,
know
you
if I
got
can
to
get around that.
vacuum.
Oh, we have been doing PTL Shop, and it has been so much fun and so nerve-wracking. It has been new. It's new, so it's been really nerve-wracking.
What people don't realize is there's no script. You know, we've
No.
got guidelines.
They
of where
well,
we're
and they
going.
hand us blue cards at 1:30 or 2 o'clock and say, "Here, promote this for an hour."
No, the thing about it is when you don't have the show scripted, everything that you see is what you get, and you get our experience of life with the product.
And we get tongue-tied.
Oh,
And then
gosh.
have to think of what to say.
Yes.
And sometimes mess that up. So, but people have been so great, so generous.
Listen, people are answering to the call. They're calling in. They're shopping, and they're telling us their testimony about their experience with PTO Shop.
Yeah.
And listen, go and tell your friends and family about it. The more people shop, now hear this, the more people shop, the better the prices are going to get. So keep watching, keep sharing, and keep shopping away.
Shop till you drop, ladies and gentlemen. You know, you can shop anywhere.
Yeah,
we
you
know
can.
that. You know, you can. There's so many places to shop online. The sky is the limit for sure.
Yes.
But you know, when you purchase something from PTL Shop, you got to know this. You can bank on it. You are pouring into the kingdom of God, and you're making a way to keep the Jim Bakker Show on television.
That's it.
And all of the PTL television network shows that we have. You're making it happen for us, and you're allowing God to move through you, and your God's hand extended to us.
Absolutely.
And we thank you for that.
You know, one of these days, we need to sit around, the four of us, and talk about Dad's vision here at Morningside. You need to start making plans to make Morningside a destination for summertime, springtime, Christmas, fall. But you know what? There's so much happening that we have not talked about. Lori's house. I mean, the other day I got online and I saw the youth group. Something is happening so amazing with the youth group. Whenever you come here, bring your grandkids, bring your kids.
Absolutely.
Get them apart from you, first of all. When you arrive, if there'll be a place for the people, you know, the young kids. And I'm telling you, something amazing is happening with the youth that I have never seen here at Morningside. God is moving here. Well, you need to move here so God can move here too. But you know what? There's so many things happening. The prayer center, 24 hours a day. You can be involved here at Morningside in any area of the ministry.
But there's things to do here on the property, and then you can go into Branson. You know, you can come here, go to maybe watch the viewing of the PTL, you know, view the PTL shop or the Jim Bakker Show, and eat at the cafe, shop at the general store, and just be here. You know, this is a place that you can, as soon as you get on this property, you can find someone and you can have prayer. You know, and you can minister to others, and you can be ministered to. And that's what the dream of Heritage USA was all about. And that's the dream for Morningside, is a place for Christians to come and be together and not be judged, not be put down, you know, for reading the Bible and for praying in public places. You can do that here. You know, we've got this beautiful statue of Jesus that we, you know, are honored to be able to see every single day. And, you know, we put benches and chairs underneath the statue of Jesus, and people sit there and they pray.
Absolutely.
And worship together. So it's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely. You need to just make plans. Join us here at Morningside. Be a part of the studio audience.
Yes.
Come and eat with us. Every day you're going to see myself walking around.
You'll see somebody running through. Maricela, little Lori, Ricky, John, one of the crew. You're going to see somebody. So it's exciting. It's fun.
We need to just keep talking about what's going on here at Morningside, and let's just share Dad's vision for what's to come. And by the way, this is what I'm excited about. More items are coming into the PTL shop, brand new items that one of our people are going out, finding product.
We've all worked so hard, and we're trying so hard to do it right, you know, but it's easy when we have such amazing, that's been the word of the month, the word du jour. It's been so amazing to learn new things, but to have these incredible products like the Arkansas quartz that we have. It's top of the line, beautiful. And it's hand dug out of the ground, handmade here in the USA, just a couple hours down the road. And that's the kind of items that we're going to have on PTL Shop.
But you know what, guys? What makes it so even incredible is that you're responding to the brand new faith-based shopping network, which is PTL Shop. But most importantly, every time you purchase something, it goes to spread the gospel of Jesus Christ all over the world. For what reason? And Ricky has mentioned it several times. For the reason is that we want Dad not to stress over raising funds on this show, but focus on the ministry. The voices of the prophets in this very hour is going to be very crucial to hear in the midst of what he prophesied for 2018, the confusion that is taking place over the airwaves all around the world and all across the boards, from the news to magazines to books. The confusion is so large. But guess what? This platform here, we're able to bring the prophets and the experts to not only help us with what God is saying through some of the things that are happening, but even people that can help us with practical things on how to make it through, such as the Seisha water products or Augustin Farms food products and PTL Shop. Every time you purchase something from there, it goes to support the ministry all across the boards, from Lori's house to the youth programs to the prayer center. I mean, on and on and on. And so many of you want to shop, but then again, there's so many of those people that just want to give donation to be able to continue to keep sowing the seed of faith. And I love that. And, you know, Bishop and I talked about it the other day, that people need to get back on sowing seed back into the ministry and being able to further the gospel through that form.
Absolutely. You took the words out of my mouth. So many people have written me, and they've seen me when you come visit here on Grace Street and tell me, I just want to donate. You know, I don't want anything in return. I don't need anything. I don't want to buy anything. I just want to give. And first of all, that means everything. You know, it means the world, and it touches my heart so deeply. And this is our partnership month. And it's January, in the beginning of the year. We're going into 2018. And we need your help. We need you to partner with us, just like Mondo's talking about, just like Ricky mentions as well, that, you know, we can't do it without you. And you are the reason. You know, you have allowed God to work through you to donate to this ministry so that we can keep Christian television on the air. And if you can donate, you know, anything you can donate is very much appreciated, but we need your monthly help. If you could donate $30, $50, $100, I know, Mondo, there's some that have donated $500 a month, $1,000 a month. You know, you don't have to do that. We're not asking you to do that, but if you can, it'd be great.
Absolutely.
It would be wonderful. But the monthly donations, that's what keeps us going. You know, here at Morningside, we have to pay our staff, and we have to pay the bills, and we have to pay for the cameras, and, you know, filters for the air filters, and toilet paper. I know all about that. Being here at Morningside, there's so many needs that we have that need to be met to continue this ministry going. And that's what your monthly donations do. They make a way where there seemeth to be no way. So will you help us today? The number is 888-988-1588, or you can go to jimbakkershow.com and just say, hey, I want to help. You know, $30 a month, that's $1 a day, roughly. And, you know, we spend more than that on coffee, drinks, and frivolous things. Why not pour into the kingdom of God, you know? So will you do that today? $30, $50, $100 a month. We sure would appreciate it, and it will, you know, help us to keep,
you know, Sue,
keep going.
I've heard you say many times that network TV, they stay alive due to the fact that they have commercials.
That's
and
right.
Commercials pay for the programming that we all love to watch. Whatever program that is your favorite, someone has to pay the bill.
That's right.
And we function just like what?
PBS, you know, any of those nonprofit organizations, you know.
Absolutely. So Christian television has always depended on you, on your help, being able to be supported by you, the people out there watching, and only takes a few people to be able to help us every month to continue to, again, to spread the gospel all over the world by being able to have this platform. I'm not going to get emotional, but for me, to see Ricky, John, on the Jim Bakker Show, it's probably one of the greatest miracles that Christian television has ever experienced after seeing what Dad, what you, your mom, Jamie, have gone through. And to be able to understand what miracle it is to be sitting on this stage, what privilege. It is an honor to serve God through your donations. Again, if it wasn't for you, I remember this, remember Barbara? Back in the day when everything was going crazy in your life, they created the BBB Club.
Sweet angels, they did. They tried so hard to bring back Bakker Club.
But I want you to know, I say that for a reason, that if it wasn't for you all these years standing with the ministry, standing with Dad, we would not be here in this very moment.
That's right.
And your donations, your prayer support, your continuing believing in the mission and the vision for Dad, it's what keeps us going every single day. And I don't see how we can thank you other than keep preaching the gospel and keep the legacy going.
You talk about legacy. You know, we have partners that have donated to this ministry, watched the show, have believed in us, purchased my albums, purchased my mother's albums for over 50 years. That's mind-boggling.
It's unheard of.
That's my entire life.
It's unheard of.
You know, I have people that say, I remember watching the Jim and Tammy show and watching your mom singing with you in her belly. You know, my mom pregnant singing. And then me being in my bassinet when I was 2 weeks old on the set of the Jim and Tammy show. And you are not these people, you are family.
Yes.
You know, and I will never ever be able to thank you enough for how you have poured into our ministry, and you've poured into me, and you consistently send me my mom's albums. People still have mom's albums.
Wow.
Items from PTL, buttons, stickers, cards, Christmas cards from the 70s, 80s, from the 90s. And you send these things to me with these loving, beautiful notes. I can't thank you enough for your support. I could not have made it all these years without you. And I'm really glad that I was able to take the time to say that, because I wanted to say that for a very long time on television. And, you know, back in my office right now, Mondo, I have letters, beautiful handwritten letters from people that are supporting me and you guys and telling us what a great job that Ricky, that you guys, John, Mondo, that you guys are doing on the show, and that they know that how we're trying and we're working hard. And, you know, money can't buy that. I mean, I'm almost speechless with it. It touches me so deeply.
The kindness of people still exists, and I'm so glad that you're still able to be kind and loving and supporting the ministry. Don't ever lose hope through that. We are a testimony that if God can use broken people, God can still use you. And I love what you've said years ago. I've never forgot it. I've known you almost, 19 years almost?
Almost 20
almost
years.
20 years. Yeah. And the first time I met you, you said, I used to sing by faith. Today I sing and I preach by experience.
Yeah.
That experience only comes out of brokenness. That experience only comes out of loneliness and anxiety and depression. And to be able to sit here next to you, Ricky, what you've gone through, John, your testimony, we are a part of God's promise to be able to use broken people once again. And that's why I love what we do.
I believe that's why God put us together.
Yes.
You know, I mean, we're not professional television hosts and co-hosts.
You are.
You know,
you've been around a long time.
I'm not, but you know, I know that God put this together. It's been tough. Mm-hmm. It's been really tough, and you know, I know that's why we're and making us as honest and open as we are. I feel like that's what it's all about. Dad and I talk about it all the time, about how, you know, we talk more about our family and our problems on television than we do in private. But I know there's a reason for that, and it's because so many of you that watch, you know, you've said thank you for being real. You know, thank you for being transparent, because it's helped me. Yes. And that's what ministry is all about. You know, us as the body, we as the body of Christ have to come together and just be real. Quit judging each other. Quit judging each other by what you're wearing on Sunday morning, you know, or if someone wore jeans, or if they don't, you know, look the way you want them to look, or not doing what you want them to do. Stop it. It's time to just love and forgive and not judge. And it's now is the time for that.
That's it. And, you know, we are a testimony that whether we have disagreements, do we have disagreements or not, guys?
Yeah, of course we do.
Sí, señor.
Are we perfect?
No.
I mean, the other day, I'll tell you a little story. The other day, we were in the meeting for PTL Shop, and you and I had a disagreement. Mm-hmm. Did we go out in the back and fight, throw punches? No. Listen, family, when you love each other, you're allowed to have agree to disagree moments, but it's not about destroying each other. What I'm trying to tell you is this year, make it part of your resolution, part of your plan to restore your family once again. You have brothers you haven't spoken to, all because of a dumb, stupid fight. But you know what? Those fights are not worth the time that you can be spending experiencing each other's lives and being able to look forward. It's time to forgive. And I think that's one of the things Dad has always said to all of us, even mom.
100%.
It's forgiveness is the key to success, but more than that, forgiveness. If you don't forgive, I can hear him.
I know. This sermon.
You won't be forgiven.
Yes, and the sermon about the dead body. If you don't forgive, it's like carrying that dead body, around, and how that dead body eventually starts decaying your body.
Yeah.
And that's really what unforgiveness does.
And you have to kill it the moment you feel like there's confusion. It's just that if you allow a little bit of confusion or a little bit of misunderstanding, that can be the thread that can separate you for the rest of your life.
That is so
and
true.
Keep you from being able to see each other. This is the year where we need to start over again, rebuild your family, forgive one another, and love.
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 I think, Dad always has a theme for every year. I want one of our themes to be love in 2018.
Yes.
I think it should be
I'll
just
applaud
love.
to that.
And quit judging and quit, talking about each other and quit putting each other down. And the churches I've seen that have separated and all the over stupid stuff, let's just, it's hard enough as it is. Being alive in this world right now is really difficult. Why make it more difficult than what it has to be?
Exactly.
I think love is key, and just forget about all the other stuff.
We're living in an hour that we need to prepare. We need to prepare emotionally. We need to prepare spiritually. We need to prepare practically. And one of the things that Dad has always taught us is to prepare. Every time I speak to him, it's always about, are you preparing enough? Every time he talks to Ricky, it's always about, is the people preparing enough? Are we offering the food? Remind the people that it's time to prepare. 2018, I can't wait for John to share some of the stories that are going on the news, because 2018 promises to be a shaking.
Don't go away. We'll be right back after this special message.
So I turn my Bible and write the scripture. It says, all these are the beginnings of sorrow. So I asked the Lord Jesus, what does this mean? And then he began to explain to me the book of Revelation. The Lord explained clearly the timelines that all Christians will go through the tribulation. And when the Lord said that, it shook me. I told the Lord, whatever you are saying to me is contrary to what we have been preaching, the Pentecostals are preaching.
That's right.
And that's when the Lord said, all you people are wrong.
Oh.
Listen, you need to be prepared at least for the basic stuff of life. I live on the Gulf Coast. We're always inundated with tornadoes or hurricanes, and stores are closed, power's out for days, and you have to shelter in place.
This is the deluxe. This is 4 months of food.
That's right.
In this bucket of our best. But we're shipping it free. And the reason it's so expensive to ship, it's heavy.
That's right.
It's heavy.
That's right.
And so, but you're getting free shipping on this today if you call right now.
Right.
And just order our
Pastor,
deluxe bucket.
In that bucket, you also get 374 servings at 22 different varieties of those, and that's just over 4 months of food at 47 cents per serving. And I think that's an amazing deal. This is the cheapest, I believe, that we've ever offered it.
Part of the commission, the Great Commission, and also the judgment seat of Christ is going to be based around, I was hungry, and you gave me meat.
That's right.
Yes.
And what an opportunity for, especially for people that can afford to do more than just for themselves.
Yes.
What a door opener it would be for them to be ready to also pass along some of this food product to neighbors and others that might not be that willing to talk to you about God, but now all of a sudden you've done something in fulfillment of the commission, right?
Yeah.
And then 1 year of food right there behind you, John. This is the deluxe food. I always say pizza first because nobody has pizza. We literally invented 30-year pizza.
16 months of food, all right here, for $650. And again, that's free shipping. I can't believe that you can find that anywhere, that kind of a deal.
I know that this stuff with the survival food, somebody, but I think it's just common sense food. I'm glad. Mike and I, we bought our food, and we are so glad that we did.
Right. So get it right now.
That's right.
While there's still time. Then you just double the 2-year, right?
That's right. Yes. And that comes with the 8 buckets. So again, that's an amazing deal.
And right behind us, honey,
this is
a time of trouble offer. This is actually going to be 10,472 servings inside of this right here.
Now, this is 7 years, Rick.
No, that's 7 years, but we're giving a bonus of 2 years and 8 months of food, and that makes out to be 28
That's free
buckets.
beyond.
That's bonus, free. Also free shipping.
A huge amount of shipping. I don't know for sure.
I know how much it is.
What
it would normally cost you $560 for this particular product at this price, which that's almost $600 of savings.
Yes,
that's incredible.
Have your house in order and be prepared to love your neighbor. Isn't that what I've been saying?
Yes.
That we need to be prepared to help not just our friends and family, but the least of these, our brethren.
That's right.
For the strangers.
I know pancakes come in it for sure, because I love these pancakes. They're good.
So for $1,200, what you're getting today is over 2,992 servings of food. That's 33 months of food. And in these buckets, you get the maple brown sugar oatmeal, you get buttermilk pancakes, honey wheat bread, black bean burgers, pizza crust, pizza cheese toppings. You get the pizza sauce, the creamy stroganoff, fettuccine alfredo, Italiano marinara, the elbow macaroni, cheese powder, creamy chicken rice, Spanish rice, cheesy broccoli rice, and white rice. It even comes with the instant potato servings as well as the hearty vegetable chicken soup. It even comes with the chocolate pudding and Morning Moo's low-fat milk, which is great, especially if you have children. So you're getting that all right here for $1,200, and again, that's free shipping.
So you get the honey in there, did you say?
Yeah, a matter of fact, I didn't mention that. You get
because that's one of our newer products.
Bonus 60 servings of honey, that honey powder.
The big thing today is if you order during this show, it's free shipping.
Call now, 1-888-988-1588. Or you can order this offer and many others online at jimbakkershow.com.
By the way, Dad, what did he prophesy 2018 would be? A suddenly? Confusion. What else? Lying.
That's right.
Today, Turkey. You talk about the 31 things Dad always mentions. Was one of the things he said, watch Turkey. Dad, in 2018, just a few weeks ago, when we started this year, he said, suddenly is going to be the key word. Guess what word did Turkey use this morning? Oh, you can go to jimbakkershow.com and watch what we posted, but what was it?
Go ahead, Mondo.
It was suddenly. Suddenly. The president of Turkey said, suddenly, we are going to hit you unexpectedly. Things are going to come your way. Could it be something going on behind the scenes that we may not know about? I don't know about you, but I want you to watch this video from Dad reminding us why we need to prepare. And when we come back, John, if you can just hit some of the news that attach to this video and let you know why we need to prepare. Watch this.
This story you just told us about, it actually comes from the University of Colorado. And I don't know if you read this or not, but the startling severe earthquakes, we've had maybe 6 severe, and we've seen them. People dead, people in Mexico and all. But they're saying starting next year, 2018, which is a few days away, that we can expect 20 disastrous major earthquakes a year. And it's just an increase, and this is a new number.
And I know a lot of people are really worried about the San Andreas Fault and even just up north, like in Washington there, you know, these things could just, once one goes, the next one could go, because those are going to be some of the biggest earthquakes that we've ever seen.
It will be a domino effect.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He says there's this Roger from University of Colorado, Willem, he's saying the Earth's core, there's a change in the Earth core, and he said that could be part of the change that we're going to have and the cause of earthquake. So perilous times are coming. And the EMP bomb, we're hearing more and more and more that North Korea is expecting and planning to drop an EMP bomb over America,
That's
which would shut down our power. And within a year, probably 95% of America would be dead.
President Donald Trump just placed North Korea back on the terror watch list after many years of them not being on the terror watch list, rightfully so. Hopefully that this, you know, brings some sense into Kim Jong-un to stop the development of these weapons.
Well, what that's going to do is also increase the sanctions going against, making it more difficult for them to bring in money from outside sources. So a lot of banking and business industries, it's going to make it more difficult for them to be able to work with outside countries.
Yes.
So they're back up there with Iran and a few other countries that they've been keeping an eye on. And, you know, one other thing is that everybody's really worried about, they're even talking right now that they could launch an array of ballistic missiles at any moment.
Yes.
So that's something that we're concerned about. And with that taking place, again, comes a concern with an EMP.
These hurricanes we've had the last few months, the most severe storms ever in history. And we're seeing more and more and more things. Puerto Rico, people, aren't you folks from Puerto Rico? It's a disaster. The church that I love so much in Puerto Rico, they're still not back in their church. The roof is leaking. It destroyed almost everything inside. And this pastor, Alberto, is it?
Alberto, yeah.
Is head of the Assembly of God Missions in San Juan, and he's doing an amazing job. And we've got food now to ship there that our partners have helped us with. So we're trying to get airplanes full of our food to ship there, and we're trying to help them. This is what's shocking, John. I hope you have that story with you. 2,000 people a day are moving out of Puerto Rico.
That's right.
That's devastating, people. You don't get it.
It's unprecedented. It's the island right now is probably the worst area disaster in American soil that anybody has ever seen.
Ricky, you've been to Puerto Rico.
Yes.
We love Puerto Rico. And that beautiful island is devastated. 84,000 people have left Puerto Rico, moved out in the last 42 days. You can't keep doing that. It's devastation because with the people gone, but the power's not on.
Well, and they're even saying that out of those 84,000 people, the biggest thing is that these are workers. These are people that help the infrastructure of Puerto Rico. They're the ones doing the manufacturing, and manufacturing the pharmaceuticals is one of like the largest businesses going on in Puerto Rico right now. So if the people are leaving, it's affecting a lot more than just the current situation right now and the job market and rebuilding and getting back going again.
Puerto Rico, it's a territory, but it was a nation. Puerto Rico is a sign. What's happening in Puerto Rico is end times.
Absolutely.
Perilous times is there, and it's all over the world.
We are going to have, in just a few days, probably one of the leading voices when it comes to EMP and what happens afterwards. And Dr. Vincent Pry is going to be here. And he wrote a blog the other day that Puerto Rico is a snapshot of what could happen in the United States if an EMP would ever hit here in America. You know, the Puerto Rico, we say it in Spanish, is Isla del Encanto, which means it's a charming island. Well, it's not charming anymore. not when people are wanting to leave.
That's sad.
It used to be the #1 destination to go and visit, and I mean, even the people, the culture, amazing people. Today, you walk around, and it's sad to see probably one of the most devastated islands in America today, and to watch the people leave the island knowing that it will never be the same, and perhaps, Puerto Rico is going to take a long time. Some people call it a decade before it gets back to, which once was the island of charm, the charming island. And to see people, the churches, the stores, people lining up to get water, people lining up to get food, people wondering where the medicines are going to come from. And you know what? I don't know. But when people start leaving the island, that's when no more hope is left in that kind of disaster zone. If that ever happened here in America, in New York City, if that ever happened in Los Angeles, Atlanta, can you imagine Atlanta not having people?
Well, according to the scriptures, it's going to happen. That's the things people aren't preparing. And that's why only a fool, the Bible says, sees trouble coming and doesn't do something about it.
When you're watching the news, I feel like I'm watching Dad as I'm watching the news. I'm saying, oh my gosh, is he part of those meetings? Does he have a personal insight on what's going on? But John, what is the news telling us today compared to what we just heard?
Mondo, there's so much going on right now that a lot of major news sources aren't really covering it because of the winter and the weather that we're all having here within the States. But something that everybody should be aware of right now, and we're going to have our guest come out, and he's going to be able to explain a little bit more of what is happening in the news. But South Africa, Cape Town, has slashed water usage amid the drought. Residents' water allowance has been restricted to only 50 liters a day. Now, something to realize, a person taking a shower is going to end up using 15 liters just per minute for a typical shower, and they use the same amount when flushing a standard toilet. So that's according to WaterWise out of South Africa there. Cape Town had earlier banned car washing and filling up swimming pools as a part of an effort to conserve their water. Now, something that's interesting is they're even talking that right now they only have about 100 days left of water, and this is going to be one of the first major cities in the world to have run out of water if that day does come that they use too much. And also, since we're talking about water right now, 6 million people, U.S. residents, are drinking uranium-contaminated water that could increase the risk of liver damage as well as cancer. And we're going to be talking about more of this a little bit later. But what happened is two aquifers providing drinking water to almost 6 million people, and almost 2 million of them live less than a mile from the contaminated ground in the source. And this is according to researchers from the University of Nebraska. They've also said High Plains Aquifer is the largest in the U.S. It spans from Texas to South Dakota and stretches over a total of 8 states. And not only has uranium contaminated 189 times the maximum contaminant level, but it also has nitrates and concentration that is just so beyond what a person is supposed to be able to drink. Now, we're also seeing the Times has put out a report that plastic fibers are also being found in 83% of the world's tap water in a new study that has been revealed that microscopic fragments enter the water system in multiple ways. Reports from different sources say the synthetic fiber cloth is getting into your systems, and people are just constantly drinking this without a second thought. I want to move on to this real quick, that we're seeing multiple weather reports. We're seeing flooding going on around the world. And I think these are very important reasons that we all need to realize that we need to take care of ourselves. We need to take care of our bodies within this new year. So what we're getting ready to be able to talk about is how to take care of yourself.
Absolutely. So, Sue, I think our next guest is going to help us.
I think he knows a little bit about water. What do you think?
I think he does. Mr. Seychelle, Dad calls him.
That's right. Carl has been in the filtration industry for over 40 years. Unbelievable. That's so amazing to me. And in 1973, did you know that his company was sold to Coca-Cola?
I know. Wow.
That's big, honey.
Yes.
That is huge. He has donated thousands of water filtration systems to missionaries all over the world. He is known worldwide as a recognized expert in the pure water field, and he has made Seychelle. Thank you so much, Mr. Seychelle, a faith-based company. Would you please welcome our very, very special guest, Mr. Seychelle himself, Carl Palmer. Welcome. I'm so glad that you could join us. We love you so much, and we're so thankful that you're a part of Morningside and the Jim Bakker Show. We all wore our blue in honor of you today.
How about that? Thank you.
It's Water Day. That's what we called this our Water Day today to celebrate
right?
you.
Carl, 84 years old. Yeah. I can't believe you're 84. If you're 84, I can't wait to be 84.
I'm telling you what, you look so good. Oh.
I feel good.
What is the key of being 84? How do you make it this far?
The first thing, of course, you know I'm going to say is the water, right?
Yes, water.
That's what you told Ricky.
So, of course, that's true. I've been drinking real high-quality water since 1966. And never had a glass of tap water, never had a soft drink.
Well, there you go.
Drink maybe 1 cup or 2 cups of coffee a week. I try to. A week, yeah. I try not to do one every day.
What happens when you drink too much caffeine? I know Rosemary said that you take when you drink good water, you have the good grape. When you drink a lot of pop and a lot of those things that just is not good for you, it's a raisin. Is that correct?
That's pretty correct.
For your face.
Yes.
For your skin,
When I
right?
sit this here, yeah.
Yes.
Well, basically, there's a major reason. You remember that little booklet I put out in all the pH magazines?
Yes.
Yeah. Have you ever looked at that scale?
Yes.
You remember what it said?
Yeah, you got the levels of acidity from 0.
What's coffee? What's coffee?
Is it around
acid, right?
Number 4.
Yeah,
yes.
number 4.
And pop being
acid.
number 2.
Yeah.
Oh, now let's talk about
coffee.
that just for a moment.
Oh.
Let's say you're talking about pH, right?
Yes.
And pH is most people make a mistake. Well, what's that? That's pH. They don't think that's acidity and that's alkalinity.
Yes.
pH is a measurement of what it is. You know, it's 0 to 14, and 7 is a neutral as a norm. If it's above 7.3, they say there's never been a cancer death in history. Nobel Prize winner has announced that and won the Nobel Prize because of that particular concept of pH scale. But every time it goes up one jump, like if it goes from a 7 to a 6 or goes up, it increases the alkalinity by 10. If it goes up from 7 to a 9, it does it by 100. If it goes from 7 to a 10, it goes up by 1,000. Opposite way around, let's go the other way. It goes from a 7 to a 6, it reduces the acidity in water, increases the acidity, but it reduces the alkalinity by 10. But it goes from 7 to a 5, it's 100. A 4, it's 1,000. So when I have that cup of coffee, and I don't see one around here that I don't want, that now you're clear down to 100 times more acidic than it is the norm. And so if you're going to eat acidically, if you're going to drink acidically, you stand a good chance of having a problem. You know?
What are some of the foods, the acid foods?
I know popcorn's 4, and that killed me. I love popcorn. You know, I'm so that's the end of my popcorn program.
That's really sad. And who would have thought that popcorn would be, one of the acids?
Oh yeah, it sure is. You know, in concept of that, if I might just take one remark about something that because I was listening to the program, John, and your presentation. So I almost said, well, look, I'll give you the rest of mine, and you can do the thing. You're doing a good job of that. Right?
Well, I appreciate that.
But I was going to tell you, only thing you didn't say.
What's that?
Guess what? You forgot to talk about why. Yeah. There's a thing, if we could all learn this. Problem, you talked about a lot of problems. Yeah. I brought problems here that you'll never take another glass of tap water in your life. Oof. You know, you talked about chromium-6. In my cell phone, I'll show you a picture. Ermin Brockovich and I sitting at a conference table 3 times. We've been together. And she is, of course, certainly the founder, but certainly the one that exposed it all with her movie, correct?
Yeah.
So 200 times more Chromium-6 now found in the water than there was at the movie 13 years ago.
Really?
200 million people now exposed to chromium-6. Can you imagine that? And now it's considered to be chemical suicide to drink water that has chromium-6 in it.
And that's the chromium-6 is, why are we getting that? Because the industry, the farmers.
And it comes from natural. There's natural chromium-6 too.
Okay.
You have a lot of chromium in water, but every time you add anything to it, there's a thing called a hexavalent. And a hexavalent hops the number up. Chromium-6, chromium-1, chromium-1, chromium-2, chromium-6 is now it becomes basically carcinogenic, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a major problem. So now, what do we do about it? Here's the key: is what I was thinking. Somebody tell me what to do. Okay, now I'm your audience, let's say, and they're looking at us and they're going, "Oh God, chromium-6, I'm drinking that water. What do I do?" Guess what? You buy an extreme bottle. You buy a standard bottle. Any one of our, or you buy our pitcher. It all removes 99.8% of chromium. And what here? I'm not going to bore you with this, 'cause I know it'll take your time, but in this booklet are all our chromium-6 tests.
Okay.
There are 19 sets of tests from 19 different laboratories saying that we remove chromium-6 above 98%.
Wow.
Now that's from all over the United States and, by the way, the world.
That's right.
So when you get to our kind of testing and how we do it, we're testing 385 sets of tests, but over 60 tests internationally from governments, militaries, universities, field and testing, Mount Everest climbs and things like that. Even the Mount Everest climb, the UK environmental labs and UK Supreme Commando did a test climbing Mount Everest, and they used the only water they used was with one of our bottles, and because they always had to boil the water, and boiling water at elevations of 20,000 feet, right, or 22,000 feet, and pretty difficult. So they used it, and in it it says there's only 6 suggestions we may have. And one of them says, we used the product, it was used constantly by 3 of our men and to reclaim their own urine. It tested fine and potentially an excellent application in emergencies.
Really?
No, have I got the documentation? I wouldn't say. But the key, again, is to relate the contaminant. Again, its problem and the need is a health concern it creates, right?
Okay, right.
Solution is simple. You've got that.
And today, we want to be able to become part of that solution by giving our viewers an opportunity to have this product in your home today. You just never know when something can take place in your community.
Well, we have the new, this is so exciting to announce, and Ricky, I know you know about this as well, the new Ultimate Seychelles Bundle that we have just created. This is the first time we've ever offered this. I like talking about something new with water. This is so exciting. It includes the 28-ounce Extreme Warfare bottle, the 28-ounce pH bottle, the Dual Supreme pump, and the King pH pitcher. And you're not going to believe the deal. I think it's on your screen right now. But boy, do we have a deal.
I can't believe
it. This is with free shipping, $150. This is a $490
Are you
value.
okay? Don't pass out on me right now.
I think every time you hear our deals here. But we're so excited to be able to offer this to our friends and family and partners that are watching.
For a value of $490 today, $150, we want to bring the very best that we've been able to put together for you today. Is start testing these products out for yourself. Listen, I've heard you say 75% of the water that we drink is away from home.
That's correct.
That right there for me is alarming, because if you are not drinking through this water bottle, I can't believe what you just said. You have not drank one drop of tap water. I shouldn't even ask this question, but
really
what's in our
incredible.
tap water what's in our tap water that makes it so dangerous?
Simple. First of all, I'm going to show you one quick thing before I start answering. This booklet, can you see what that says? Is that any help?
Water on tap.
Yeah, water on tap. But read who this is by.
EPA.
This is by the EPA. Now, when I make any kind of representation of any sort, I don't care what it might be, you can test me. It's always documented by either the EPA or you can take this booklet. It says, is our water safe to drink? And you look at the first page on that link. It says, the Assembly of the California Legislature. And it basically says, One thing, it hasn't done anything for my eyes. Can't see any. I can't see any better. Because 1/2 of our drinking water come from natural underground reservoirs. If dangerous chemicals poison seep in these water reservoirs, there's a risk of permanent contamination and serious public health and economic consequences. This report documents the dangers. Toxic chemicals are now contaminating a number of our underground water supplies. This is a $6 million research by the state of California.
My goodness.
Okay. Unbelievable.
That's
Unbelievable.
unreal.
But
I love it that when you come here, Carl, you don't just talk. You don't just you're not just saying, "Oh, this is this." You back it up. You have all the documents and the paperwork and the studies. You back it up. I mean, here it is. I'm looking at it. We're seeing this right now before our eyes.
Remember, I'm 84, folks. I don't know how long I'm going to be around.
Look it. So there, that's.
but I'm going to pass this on to you guys. You're going to have to pick up the water wand, right?
Yes, the water wand. Amen.
But this kind of a booklet, I got this book April 12, 1983.
Oh my goodness.
Now, people say, well, that's clear back in 83. Are you kidding? It's 100 times worse than it was in 83. Ooh. So this is a lot worse. But what this is you'll notice here, Mickey, that all this is a study of the state of California, where they did study all superfund sites. And what it says is site, Fresno, California. And it says what? Contamination of surface water.
Serving more than 10,000 people. Asbestos.
Okay.
Possible cancer or death is the possible health effects of that.
Okay, fine. Yeah. There's lead, copper, zinc, lead, unbelievable amounts of things. Damage to the nervous system, damage to kidneys, damage to reproductive system, and cancer in rats. I mean, this is unbelievable. I did a presentation. So I was in Torrance, California. So what happened is I'm getting ready to make this presentation. I'm thinking, God, I'm going after the contaminant levels and using this document in the state of California, right? Yeah. So I'm looking at it, and I said, so I see a guy walk in the door. Oh, and the other guy was the director of consumer fraud, and that guy was a policeman. Really a sheriff, right? Yeah. They were going to serve me, right? Because I was going to go after the contamination water. I was going to talk about chlorine, which I'm going to talk about in a second.
Yeah, we want you to talk about
but here we go, boom.
Sure.
I said, so they come in, and I said, I introduced myself. I said, hi, I'm Carl. And I gave them my cards and stuff. Went back and forth. I got back up to the stand, and when I was going back, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. So I grabbed my little booklet, and I said, by the way, gentlemen, this is a California document. Have you read this?
I haven't.
No, they hadn't either. Guess what? They hadn't either. So I said, well, let me just look around. I said, this is Torrance, California. I said, let's look at something. Let's do it again.
All right.
Torrance, right?
Yes. This right here, it says 30 feet deep soil contamination threatening 3 aquifers, well, and surface waters. More than 100,000 people served by aquifer within 3-mile radius for drinking water. Benzene, and then proven fatal to men, leukemia,
anemia
associated with cancer induction. That's in the water.
Now, they're looking at me. Now, am I the bad guy anymore? I'm a good guy,
you're
right?
The good guy.
I'm the good guy.
You're the good guy.
I got to be the winner.
Yeah.
But the point is, this book is full of this.
Yeah.
There's 18 pages of documents on different surface areas and different areas in California that they've tested the water. And it's done, so I don't just say that some guy in the back office wrote this thing up. This has, by the way, this booklet is 4 times as thick. It explains the whole way they did the test.
Now it's 4 times as thick as this.
It is. Well, now I was able to research their research is what I was able to do. But here's who did this research on it. The Drinking Water and Health, that's the National Academy of Sciences Safe Drinking Water Act. Now it's a giant book like this. And then the next one they have is the Constitution of Groundwater by Toxic Organic Chemicals. Now you understand, and there's another couple of more. Do you understand that toxic chemicals are organics? Every organic that we've ever tested, we remove at least 98% of. Every single one is a carcinogen. So anybody that has a herbicide, fungicide, pesticide, insecticide, pharmaceutical, I don't care where it comes from, if it's made by man, it's organic. And that's all there is to it. There's nothing we can do about it. So if you drink water, if it's from a river or a lake or wherever you're getting it, out of your faucet, they cannot remove organics easily. It's very difficult. And I tell you, I think all municipalities ought to have a gigantic, not the size of that statue back there, but I think they should have a statue because they do all they possibly can to make our water safe to drink. Everything. All the obviously the bacteriological, you've got bacterial, virus, and cysts. They're serious and very, very health concerning, right? And they do all they can to remove it by primary one source. We all know what it is. Chlorine, right? Now, if I tell you, if you drink chlorinated water, you run a 44% greater risk of dying of cancer if you don't drink chlorinated water, would you think I was crazy? You're bound to think I was a little crazy, right? In this booklet right here, what do you know? I happened to sing to it right away. This is interesting. Now, I didn't come here to read all this stuff to you, but did you have a thing when you were going to school called the Weekly Reader?
Yes, I did.
Me too.
I loved Weekly Reader.
So did I. Well, that's what we're doing tonight, this Weekly Reader.
This is good. This is an very educational Weekly Reader.
Well, I hope so.
I'm an outdoors guy. I love being outdoors. And one of the things, the number one thing that they give, if you're going to go backpacking, is they give you a pack of tablets, chlorine tablets, to toss in your water, so that way you can go get water right out of the stream, out of a lake or a river, and it's going to shock the water. So what you have just read scares...
It's everything that you've been doing.
Scares me.
By the way...
I'm surprised I have children after you just read that.
You may not have any more. You got
Well, one of the most important things is we're just talking about the ultimate Seychelles bundle right here, and the extreme warfare bottle, and the fact that it takes out all this stuff, and I don't have to now pack chlorine and kill my heritage after this.
Exactly.
Well, by the way, it doesn't shock the water. That's not what it does. It kills bacteria and virus is what it does, and cryptosporidium. That's what you need to know.
All right.
So could the extreme warfare bottle save your life?
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to just tell you right now, we have the brand new Ultimate Seychelles Bundle 911. Buy it now. Do it now. Run. Don't walk. Order yours. You get the 28-ounce Extreme Warfare bottle, the 28-ounce pH bottle, the Dual Extreme Supreme Pump. That's what you need, obviously, John.
I absolutely love this Extreme Pump.
You do. You really do. The King pH Pitcher. That is a $490 value. And today, for the first time, we can offer it on the Jim Bakker Show for $150. Get on the phone right now. Call 888-988-1588. Operators are standing by. You need to order yours immediately. Free shipping on that. I'm so glad that we can offer free shipping. Can you believe that?
No, what more can you give away?
I know. Well, I can't believe it. Another show is over. We did it. Today has been all about water. I hope that you'll join us again tomorrow with Carl Palmer. He'll be our guest again tomorrow on the Jim Bakker Show. We're going to be talking about, guess what? Again, water. You have to have water to live. Call 888-988-1588 or go to jimbakkershow.com and order your water products today. We love you so much. Thank you, Carl, for joining us again. We love you. It's always such a blessing to have you with us.
Again.
Yes. All right. I love you guys. Love you. And we love you. And remember, just like Dad says, God loves you. He really does. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching today's broadcast of The Jim Bakker Show. Please help us continue to share the gospel of Jesus on the airwaves. Call now, 1-888-988-1588 to order today's special offers. You can also write Jim at P.O. Box 7330, Branson, Missouri 65615. Or you can order this offer and many others online at jimbakkershow.com. Thank you for your prayers and financial support. It's because of you we can continue to broadcast the gospel of Jesus Christ around the world.